It is World Breastfeeding Week. Change of pace. And despite the fact that the World Health Organization recommends that all babies should be exclusively breastfed for their first 6 months, only 1% of UK mothers are reaching this target. We know a lot of you at home are new mums who watch this programme. So here to discuss parts of the reason of why this could be the case is Professor Caroline Flint, a midwife of only over 40 years experience. And I have to say, and this is a coincidence, Caroline, because I didn't know that they'd booked you, but you were my midwife. You caught my first baby. It is so lovely to see you. It gives me goosebumps to see you because, as any mum will know, midwives play a very, very special role in our life. And I can't believe that we're here nearly 20 years later still talking about the fact that we haven't got a grip on breastfeeding. Why are we so bad in this country at helping more new mothers to breastfeed?
Well, it's absolutely gorgeous to see you, Bev, I must say. But why are we so bad? Because it's so bloody difficult. Breastfeeding is one of the most difficult things I have ever experienced. I've breastfed 3 babies for 9 months very happily, but women today it's much more difficult breastfeeding in 2022 than it has ever been before. Women in 2022 have so much intervention, so much interference. They lose so much blood during the childbirth process that their bodies are busy trying to replace the blood they've lost, which comes above producing milk. They also get very little support because they don't get midwives popping in to make sure they're all right. They just have to do it on their own. My suggestions for any women who are struggling with breastfeeding at this moment is remove your clothes. Keep your knickers on because you'll be bleeding. Remove your clothes, get into bed, make sure that somebody's going to cook you your lunch and things like that. Get into bed naked with your baby and have your baby as naked as possible. Obviously, it needs a nappy on. And because we're mammals, we need skin-to-skin contact. The baby needs to be snuggled up next to you and your nipple needs to be available to the baby, which is not going to be if the baby's over there in a Moses basket and you've got clothes on.
It's so lovely to hear your kind of common sense. We're slightly sniggering here in the studio because you've just told women to keep their knickers on. But I love this, Caroline, because this is what we need to hear. We need to take it down to the basics. We have so much fetishization of pregnancy and new motherhood. And there are a lot of... I don't want to be criticising new mothers. It's the hardest job in the world, as you and I have talked about many times over the years. But I think there is so much pressure to look good for Instagram, to have your baby in one hand and your phone in the other. And we need to get back to basics and allow women to be their primal selves, I think is what you're saying.
Yes. I mean, I suggest that women should stay in bed for 10 to 14 days after birth. I mean, obviously get up to do a pee, get up to do a poo, get up to have a shower, but have your meals in bed and just lie there with the baby. Get to know the baby, get to know what it's saying to you, get to know how it reacts, and help it to find your nipple. I mean, it's not easy breastfeeding. And if you're busy trying to do everything else and put your makeup on and all the rest of it, ridiculous. It just doesn't work.
Easy. It isn't easy. And sadly, and I think it's interesting that you say it's harder now than it's ever been in 2022, because what I found in my experience, you were literally the woman fiddling with my nipples, Caroline, to help me breastfeed. But what most women don't have is they don't have that support of another woman. And we tell women, you must breastfeed. Breast is best. Breastfeeding is easy. Oh, it's easy. You'll all do it. And then we send them home without support. And then it's no wonder that they feel like they've failed and then they feel guilty. We are letting down women so badly.
Yes, we are. And you see, the tragedy is when you breastfeed, when you manage to breastfeed, it is divine. You know, you undo your front and the baby goes... and the baby loves your breasts. And when you're feeding and you're looking down at the baby, it comes away from your breast and looks up to smile at you. It's just beautiful. And
It
it's,
is.
it's such a good way to feed a baby, and the babies flourish so much. Now, you said I'm the one who did things with your nipples. I bet I didn't, because I rarely touch women ever, because I think it's the women themselves who need to be doing it. So
Yes.
if the baby has access to your breast, and that's the problem. At the moment, babies don't get access to the breast. They're stuffed somewhere in a Moses basket or a buggy or a something, and they need to be really near the breast so they can just go and suck.